DJ Mike C on the track.
Cause that be natural.
Lady D.
I ain't looking tacky. I keep my game tactful.
Yo,
yeah, I'm so nappy.
M.O.B.
Cause that be natural.
The infamous.
I ain't looking tacky. Cause I keep my game tactful.
I'm so pretty, I'm so fabu, I'm so natural, it's like it's a taboo. I'm so filthy, got the tattoo, fucking these bitches like I own ragu. On my business with my platoon, getting these minutes like I'm a typhoon. Y'all is cheering on that cartoon.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Airfros and Babyhairs, and thank you for joining me today for this chat session. Today we have a few topics to get into, so go ahead and grab a snack and something to drink on. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Give us a thumbs up to help us grow, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. So how's everyone doing today? Hopefully all is well. Your girl is doing okay, and once again, life is just lifing. We've had a lot going on as far as the weather, and also Robin right now is under the weather, so we dealing with that as well. So please send your prayers up for her recovery. It will be greatly appreciated. So yeah guys, let's get into these topics because there's so many that I want to cover, so I want to get this chat session out of the way so that I can begin starting on the other one. And just as a disclaimer, you may hear my dog Snoopy snoring in the background. Y'all don't pay him no mind. He is very loud. He's been that way since he was a puppy, so just ignore. So anyway, the first topic is she was 19 and he was 31. Fans debate if Beyonce was groomed after she claims Jay-Z taught her how to be a woman in resurfaced clip. And this comes from Atlanta Black Star, also Yahoo. I got it from Yahoo. So it says, power couple Beyonce and Jay-Z are often viewed as hip-hop's Bonnie and Clyde, which is why fans have kept their eyes on the couple for decades. Jay and the former Destiny Child singer first met in the early 2000s when she was singing with the popular girl group. The Crazy in Love duo began dating in 2001 and secretly wed years later in 2008. He is 11 years her senior, which has always been a topic of discussion on social media. A resurfaced clip from Jay-Z's birthday in 2006 circulated online, which shows Beyonce expressing her gratitude for the Holy Grail rapper while holding a glass of wine. "You've taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating. You taught me how to be a woman. You taught me how to live. You taught me how to be a friend," she said. "You've given me so much in life, and it's not enough. It's not enough I can give you," Beyonce singer continued. "I just want you to be happy, and every year I'm even more in love with you, and I want to spend every day of my life with you. Happy birthday, and I thank God for you every day." In no time, ex-users began a back and forth about their age difference, sparking claims that Jay-Z groomed her. As noted by multiple outlets, Beyonce has admitted they met when she was 18 during a 2008 interview with 17, but didn't begin dating until she was 19. At the time, Jay-Z was 31. "I really don't believe that you will love the same thing when you're 20 as you do at 30. So that was my rule. Before the age of 25, I would never get married," she reportedly said. Regardless, social media users were still stuck on the Renaissance singer admitting he taught her to be a woman. That is a very, bold statement. Why did your man teach you how to be a woman instead of your mother? I mean, she was kind of groomed, so she was 19 and he was 31. He had no business dating her. This is why they kept it under wraps, not because they are private. Some people claim they can relate to Beyonce's celebratory speech, claiming that her statement about Jay teaching her how to be a woman was misinterpreted. "I think this is so beautiful. It sounds like he taught her to be naturally be soft with a man as a woman and what it means to feel good as a woman when connected to a man, wrote one individual. You won't get it if a man has never provided, protected, and stepped up for you in a way that allowed you to operate in your feminine energy as a woman. Here's what others who agree had to say. Reaching. If he said, "You taught me how to be a man," this wouldn't be a discussion. It wasn't crazy to drop their rent money on the concerts, but her appreciating her husband is where the line is drawn. The pre-lemonade Beyonce. This pre-lemonade Beyonce, LOL, I'ma let this slide. The fact that he cheated on her makes this even worse. Jay-Z admitted his infidelity in their marriage on his album 444, which was brought to light on Beyonce's 2016 album Lemonade. In a variety of visuals, as well as a short HBO special, Beyonce referred to someone as Becky with the good hair. Though it has never been confirmed who said Becky is, fans have speculated that it was actress Gwyneth Paltrow, former Rock Nation singer Rita Ora, or fashion designer Rachel Ray. Regardless of the rumors in Jay-Z's cheating past, he and Beyonce have gone on to welcome 3 children. Their oldest daughter, Blue Ivy, was born in 2012, and twins Rumi and Sir in 2019. What I have to say about this is basically all of these people chiming in with their input, trying to say he groomed her and all of this, he was too old for her. To me, it all just depends on what her parents allowed. Some parents may think when you're 18, you're an adult and you can pick and choose whoever you want. And if that was the case, then they may have felt like Jay-Z was the best choice for her. He was already on his way to being a self-made billionaire. I don't know, have he ever did anything as far as disrespecting her at that time or showed signs of any abuse or anything like that. So they may have thought he would have been the perfect choice. Also, there have been speculations about her actual age. We are not for certain as to what Beyonce's age was at the time, but I know that Beyonce carried herself a bit older, and she was also in a lot of older, I'm not gonna say a lot of older, but I'm gonna say a few older guys' videos back in the day when she was supposedly 15. And these men were actually grown men that had her being the leading lady or the starring lady in their music videos. So I'm sure that some people were under the impression that she was older than what she was. And in reality, she may have been. I don't know. But I know that during that time, nobody really said anything about these older men's videos that she was appearing in. So, but to know later how old she was during that time, it does make you raise an eyebrow. But at the same time, we're talking about Jay-Z, and her parents were fully involved with her career, with her relationships or whatever like that. Her mom, Tina Knowles, has always been hands-on. The daddy was the manager. So I'm sure they, accepted Jay-Z and approved of the relationship. And sometimes in, this celebrity world, things are different. They go by a different set of rules. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really say what was what, but in her case, I feel like her parents, approved of everything. And I think that they kept it hush hush not because of the age difference. I think that she wanted to give the illusion of being single. I think that's what it really was about. So I don't know. But like I said, there's been speculation that Beyonce is actually older than what we think. So I don't know. But all I can say, if her parents didn't have a problem with it, which at the end of the day, at 18. Sometimes some parents think that is full grown adult. Some parents think it's 21. Some parents think it's 25. So it just all depends on what her parents believe. And then once you're an adult, you're just an adult. You pick and choose whoever you want to have as a partner. So I don't think he groomed her, because Beyonce, before Jay-Z, Beyonce dated a slew of celebrity men. From Eminem to I think Mekhi Phifer. I mean, she's had a select few men. So I don't think she was groomed. Not at all. But people can say whatever they want to say, but at the end of the day, I think they were a power couple back then. They're still a power couple. It was a great business move, because he did teach her how to manage her own self, her own brand, and since he's become a part of her life, she has just gotten better and better and better. So, and they're both billionaires in their own right, and I think that was because of her link with Jay-Z, because he's a businessman first. So you can't say that he didn't bring anything to her. He didn't bring any value, because ultimately he did. So yeah, I mean, I don't see why people have an issue with it, and why now, after they've been married for so many years and have so many children, at this point, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a lot of celebrity men who marry young women. So it's nothing new and nothing to be really oohing and eyeing about, because if she's saying they didn't meet until she was 18 and didn't start dating until they were 19 at the end of the day, in some cases she was an adult. So the grooming, I don't think so. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts on that in the comment section below, and just let me know what you think about it. Would you let your daughter date a 31-year-old man? If your daughter is 18 or 19, do you think you really have a say? And especially if that 31-year-old man is already an established artist, a business owner, record label owner, you know what I'm saying? And he is a millionaire. So, yeah. Not just any old 31-year-old. So, yeah. So, y'all, since we talking about Beyonce, and she is very much so from Houston, Texas, baby. The next topic is surrounding Houston, Texas. So it says, fighting the rise of syphilis in Houston, Texas, in Texas and beyond. This is from utphysicians.com, and it reads, it's definitely not a top-ranking honor to be proud of. Texas leads the nation in babies born with syphilis, congenital syphilis, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Locally, syphilis cases in Houston have increased 128% since 2019, and numbers are the highest ever nationally in more than 70 years. 1/4 of the nation's syphilis cases come from Texas, said Irene Stafford, MD, OBGYN, and maternal fetal medicine specialist with UT Physicians. Stafford has always had a special interest in perinatal infectious disease, specifically syphilis, because of its effects on fetuses and newborns. If physicians can get patients screened for syphilis and treated in a timely manner, Stafford said, it will help prevent congenital syphilis. The sooner a pregnant woman can get tested and treated, the more likely we are to have a completely treated woman, and the baby will not be impacted at all, said Stafford, associate professor in the Division of Maternal Fetal Medicine at McGovern Medical School at UT Health Houston. People need to realize there is a lot of syphilis in our community right now, and it's all hands on deck. The Houston Health Department issued a press release in July 2023 reporting a syphilis outbreak in Houston regarding the 128 100% increase. Statistics show a 9-fold rise locally just in congenital syphilis. 16 cases in 2016 to 151 cases in 2021, the most recent year of data. In Stafford's maternal fetal medicine clinic, she sees 2 to 3 patients a week testing positive for syphilis, and it's 100% treatable with a penicillin injection. When not treated, syphilis in pregnancy can lead to stillbirth and newborn death. Babies born to women with syphilis can have blood problems, bone problems, inflammation in the organs, neurological conditions such as blindness, deafness, meningitis, developmental delays, and even seizures. So yeah, guys, that's what they're saying over in Houston. There has been a rise in syphilis cases. I also heard it's moved all the way up into Oklahoma. So once again, be careful out there. I can't go conspiracy theorist on this, but I'm not. But y'all already know. You already know. But yeah, keep it safe. A lot of old disease and old plagues and stuff like that are on the rise again. So you just gotta be really, really safe, be responsible, and all of that, because I don't know where this all started. I can't pinpoint it for it to be on the rise all of a sudden, but I can assume. But yeah, guys, all I can say is be safe, and get tested, get your partner tested. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what these people are out here doing, sneaking around and doing, or whatever like that. It's just a lot going on, and right now ain't the time for all of that foolishness. But yeah, I just wanted to get people, make people aware of what's going on. And if it's out here in the Texas area and it's spreading throughout Oklahoma, it could be in your city, your state next, because it's rising really, really fast. So just be fully aware. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, moving on to the next topic. And I do want to say that my family members and pets do not respect my artistry. And I'm going to just leave it right there. But anyway, moving on to the next topic is going to be on mass looting flash mobs spread in Southern California beyond LA. And I got this from Breitbart.com. And it says mass looting events have been reported outside Los Angeles as the phenomenon spreads throughout Southern California, defying effects by local officials to deter the flash mobs that carry out the daytime heist in retail stores. The Los Angeles Times reported Wednesday. Video surveillance and reports released in the last 2 days by police displayed the ease of flash mob thefts at retail stores in Riverside and Arcadia, the latest crimes in a spate that has struck businesses throughout the region over the last few weeks. Riverside police released security footage Tuesday from 2 burglaries committed about a month apart at the Nordstrom Rack at Canyon Springs Marketplace in Riverside. 5 people broke into the Macy's at the shops at Santa Anita in Arcadia on Tuesday afternoon, according to a police report. The phenomenon of mass looting has appeared nationwide in the aftermath of the Black Lives Matter riots, which also involved looting. City police departments were cut or ordered to pull back, leaving criminals with more leeway. The phenomenon began in earnest in November 2021 with mass looting in high-end shops in San Francisco. It has since spread to Los Angeles and elsewhere. Several recent looting events in LA prompted Mayor Karen Bass to form a task force with help from Governor Gavin Newsom. However, the thefts appear to have spread elsewhere. Now, my first question is, why are they trying to blame this on Black Lives Matter? And if you go back and watch the footage from the Black Lives Matter protests, you will see that those were actually Caucasians looting during those events. So there could be who's still doing all these looting mass mob situations. But why did they tell the police to pull back in the first place? Like, isn't that what police are for? You're supposed to go out there and stop a lot of these crime and arrest a lot of these criminals. So why in this case they've been told to pull back and for them to turn around and to form a task force? So it's like, whatever. I don't know how I really feel about that. I mean, I don't know. All I know, I was out in California years ago and I saw robberies taking place in broad daylight. At this time, I was in the Moreno Valley area. That was my first time seeing an SUV back into a department store. They got out with guns, ran in, robbed the place really, really quick, and hopped back in their vehicles and sped off. And at this time, there were helicopters flying around that was supposed to be police, and police driving around, and nothing happened. So I'm like, really, this has been going on, especially in California. So now, as far as, you know, people dressing in black and having on their mask and coming into these locations, this sounds like that was you know, planned and scheduled and handpicked and all of that. So I don't know, I think it was, you know, created in order to blame it on Black Lives Matter. And they used something that was very normal for the LA area. Robberies are very normal. And they just used that, to me, because that was something that was noticed during the Black Lives Matter marches and protests. So it was just put out on Front Street, but that's been going on. So that's what I'm saying. It kind of doesn't make sense. If you know, you know, but I don't get it. But let me know y'all thoughts on that. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. It's just hard to, you know, really figure out what's really going on when we know that they hire people to do certain things. They create these groups and, you know, have them doing certain things so that they can give you the illusion that it's a different race of people that's doing it, or a different ethnicity that's creating or committing these crimes, when in all reality it's them. And it's not really a crime. That's why they're not arresting anybody, because it's something that they planned. Because if it really was us, please believe they would be arresting, attacking, body slamming, and probably pow-powing us on sight. So it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, yeah, moving along. The next thing we're going to get into is the whole Brick Lady situation. There have been some new details that actually came out about her and that whole situation. So this is her name is Rhoda Bosche, and it says Rhoda Bosche GoFundMe raises $35,124 as Texan woman hit with brick video goes viral online. And this is from sportskita.com. Rhoda Bosche, a Texas woman, posted a string of videos on multiple social media platforms on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, where she alleged a man hurled a brick at her as the crowd idly watched the incident. In the video, which has since gone viral, Bosche alleged that the incident left her with facial injuries that would take days to heal. A GoFundMe created by a friend to render financial aid to Bosche as she continues to heal from the physical and mental turmoil, has raised $35,124, surpassing its goal of $10,000. On the crowdfunding page, the friend claimed that Rhoda is a single mother and student from Texas who was left temporarily incapacitated by the alleged attack. The fundraising page said that Rhoda was also left with insurmountable medical and therapy bills and would need time away from her work as she continues to physically and mentally heal from the ordeal, the fundraiser said. Because of this vicious attack, she will have to manage hospital bills, therapy, and time away from work, school, and childcare while she heals mentally and physically. Unfortunately, no one stepped in to help her that night, and it would mean so much if we could step up and help her as she heals. While the videos posted on multiple social media platforms do not show the alleged attack, Rhoda Bashir documented her experience and rage after she was hit with the brick in front of a group of men who watched without coming to her aid. The first viral footage posted on Instagram showed Rhoda Bashir recording the experience after she was allegedly attacked by a man who hurled a brick at her when she refused to give him her number. In the video, a visibly upset woman alleged that she was attacked as a group of men in the area watched without jumping to assist her. She said, "Y'all, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watched. This man grabbed a rock and hit me in my face because I wouldn't give him my number." Bashir then proceeded to chastise the men over their cowardice for refusing to come to her aid as she was attacked by the man who supposedly got in the car and left the scene following the incident. She added, "I want you to be a man and do something. You gonna let a man hit me in the face?" The second video showed Bashir wearing a hospital gown with what appeared to be a seemingly large swollen bump on the side of her face, tearfully recalling the alleged attack. As Rhoda Bashir GoFundMe continued to raise funds for her recovery. At the time of writing this story, the Houston Police Department have yet to make any arrests in the alleged incident. Now that's the first part of what initially happened. Now we're going to go into the new information on this particular lady. So it says, a black woman who claims she was hit with a brick exposed for years of lying about being assaulted. And this is from the ncbeat.com. It says, word on the curb, the black woman who went viral in Houston after claiming she was hit in the face with a brick by a black man after he asked for her number and she didn't give it to him is being exposed for having a history of lying about strangers, quote unquote, assaulting her in order to obtain money. Earlier this month, the woman who goes by Rhoda Bashir on Instagram said that a man struck her in the face with a brick after rejecting his advances. Following the alleged incident, Bashir said that there were men at the scene and they refused to help her and watch the whole thing unfold. The woman went on to post another video on social media from her hospital bed, garnering a large amount of support across social media platforms. But she never filed a police report. But guess what? There will never be a police report because the woman is a known scammer and she has over the years claimed people assaulted her in the face just to go on to create a GoFundMe and get money, knowing damn well ain't nobody laid a hand on her lying ass. Child, she had us online thinking she was really assaulted, but she was pulling a Carly Russell and Jussie Smollett the whole damn time. In a new update, a TikToker has come forward to let us all know who this woman really is. The TikToker said that Bashir uses her allergic reactions to falsely claim that she was assaulted just to get money. In 2020, Bashir claimed that she was trying to be a doctor and be somebody, and that a group of people jumped on her for no reason while pointing at the same location the side of her face was swollen at in the recent hoax she pulled. But also on the other side of her face as well, she claimed the group of people hit her at. Every few years she gets attacked in the face by a random stranger, fails to make a police report, but makes a GoFundMe and garner thousands of dollars, the TikToker said. So that's what they said. That's one theory that I heard about her, that she has an allergic reaction, and she tries to use that allergic reaction to make these claims towards somebody attacking her. And also someone said that she really was a student that was on her way to being a doctor, and she has access to go put these injections in her face. That's why she was able to actually be inside a hospital setting, putting on the hospital gown to make the videos, because she knows how to put these injections in her face, and then blah 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 blah. So it just seems like she may be scamming, she may be lying. But there wasn't a police report filed. Nobody on the scene in these videos was acting shocked like they had seen anything happen. It's like she is the only one who witnessed this person hitting her in the face with a brick. But I don't know. There's plenty of scammers out there, people doing anything to try to get a bag. I get it, but you know, maybe you can look at it like maybe she's just trying to, you know, get this funding for her superb acting skills, you know. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to do the update that it's been speculations about this woman's whole scenario. If it's real, if it's fake, is it a hoax? So we don't know. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts below. Would you try to pull off something like this? If you were hard up for cash, I mean, you know, in this era that we're in, this day and age, I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But don't blame the black man, because everybody want to blame the black man for everything, and the black man didn't have nothing to do with this. But yeah, speaking of black man, we're gonna go into this next topic, which is about Jeezy and Jenny Mai divorcing because of family values and expectations, source say. And this is from etonline.com. It says Jeezy filing comes more than 2 years after he and former co-host of The Real tied the knot. Jeezy and Jenny Mai's pending divorce stems from different views, quote unquote. A source tells ET that the 45-year-old rapper, whose real name is J. Wayne Jenkins, and the former co-host of The Real weren't on the same page when it came to certain family values and expectations. They had different views and each felt like their needs weren't being completely met, the source explains. Mai, 44, and Jeezy were first linked in January 2019, and a source confirmed their relationship to ET in April of 2019. They made things Instagram official in September of 2019. The couple went on to tie the knot during an intimate ceremony in Atlanta, Georgia on March 27, 2021, before they welcomed their daughter, Monaco, in January 2022. Jeezy is also a dad to 3 older children, Jadarius, Shaheem, and Amra, from previous relationships. According to court documents obtained by ET, Jeezy filed for divorce on Tuesday in Fulton County Superior Court. The documents state they've been separated. The marriage is irretrievably broken, and there is no hope for reconciliation. Jeezy also wants joint legal custody of their daughter. The documents further state that they signed a prenuptial agreement the day before they got married. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution was the first to report the news. ET has reached out to Jeezy's and Mai's rep for comment. Jeezy filing comes more than 2 years after he and the media personality tied the knot. On the day of Jeezy's filing, the rapper shared a gallery of photos to Instagram alongside a caption that seemingly references the impending split. Too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me, he captioned the carousel. The Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo is one of the many to comment on the post's implications, writing the caption, "Sir," laughing emojis, Prior to getting engaged in March 2020, Mai told ET that she and Jeezy were in quarantine together. We looked at each other at this time of the quarantine like, yep, if we can do this, we are gangster. She told ET at the time, we're doing amazing. I'm a super introvert, meaning I love quality conversations. I love intimacy. I love thoughtful presence for one another. So this is a dream for me, and it allows me to focus on how to support people who need it out there. She added, noting she's learned Jeezy is such an inspiring person to be around. Nearly 3 months after their intimate wedding, Mai shared with ET why being married to Jeezy felt 1000% different. Oh my God, married life feels 1000% different than when we were dating. In the greatest way, she said at the time. I loved our dating life because we really spent such concentrated quality time getting to know each other and making sure that we were right for each other. And now being married is even more handled with such delicacy and such thoughtfulness because we're in our 40s and we both grew up in households that weren't healthy marriages. We have never seen what that looks like. This will be Mai's second divorce. She married actor Freddie Artiste in 2007 and they divorced in 2018. This will be Jeezy's first divorce. Now, it sounds like, now first of all, I just did this particular topic for those who care. But it sounds like during quarantine and during the dating process, they didn't talk about these family values and all of that. Especially if that's what's breaking them up. Now there has been like speculations about what's really going on behind the scenes. Like he didn't know she was really ghetto and had all this attitude. And I also heard that her brother and mom is staying there and the mom was using his side of the closet or something like that. And it was like, it's a bit much for Jeezy. And sometimes, especially as newlyweds, you really don't need like the in-laws in y'all business like that. But culturally, I don't know what goes on in Vietnam where Jeezy's, I mean not Jeezy, but Jenny's family is from. Now, he claimed that he loved the Asian culture and his dad had taken him to these Asian countries when he was a little kid. And it's like from that experience that you not know what that culture consisted of for you to want to marry into it and have a baby. You know, it's like some of this ain't adding up. But once again, you know, this is kind of like a topic me and D-Man have been discussing, you know, actually bringing to the channel and discussing further, is that sometimes when they try to say that divesting out is a better choice because, you know, these other people are supposed to be so submissive and they don't have attitude and all of that, but sometimes they're just as, you know, problematic as you would consider the melanin rich women to be. So it's like, really? And it also seems like, to me, Jeezy kind of was like marrying an illusion, you know, something he created in his mind. I don't know, but it sounds a little, I don't know, it's just something about this whole situation sounds a bit bizarre because also he didn't even talk to her to let her know he was divorcing her. She found out the same time we did. And this was right after he got this book deal. His book is supposed to be, you know, #1 bestseller. It's like before then, we haven't really heard of Jeezy doing too much. So now all of a sudden he's back on the scene in the spotlight. And now all of a sudden you want to divorce your wife. Like, what is going on? But yeah, he may have been using her for clout. I'ma just say it. And it's just my opinion. You know, He might have, and then this may have been a ploy to get attention on him as well to help sell the book, because they haven't completely divorced yet. It hasn't been settled. So, you know, people do a lot for clout and publicity, and then we can turn around and they decided to work things out. You know what I'm saying? So it happens all the time, but it does draw in a lot of attention because it's like this came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, for him to come left field with that, they didn't have any discussion about it prior to. That is really, really weird. Because you are high profile people and it's a lot at stake, and you don't think it was necessary to run this by your wife, that, you know, maybe we should work on a few things, or I'm thinking about divorcing you, you know, and y'all have a whole daughter. Like, you didn't think this was gonna affect her? Like, what's really going on? But yeah, they don't really owe us an explanation, but it could be a plethora of things going on for various different reasons. So you just never know. But we'll keep our ear to the street to see what really happens. Let me know your thoughts if you care. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would love to hear what y'all think about this whole situation, because just from where I'm looking, I don't really keep up with either one, but I know she was doing a lot of yapping online about her and Jeezy, and then when the baby came along, it was, you know, she was talking about all of that. So yeah, moving on. So since we just brought up melanin rich women, we finna get into this next topic, and it says black women across social media are tired of Tyler Perry's relationship advice. And this comes from thegrio.com, and it reads, whether you like his movies or not, you have to admit that Tyler Perry has made a distinct impact on black culture. His Madea movies are a fan favorite, and he has built a billion-dollar enterprise on them. He has created a space where black stars can shine in films in a way that Hollywood doesn't always let them. That is a solid truth. This weekend, Tyler Perry was trending for something other than his work on screens big and small. A viral clip of Perry's appearance on Crystal Hazlett's Keep It Positive, Sweetie podcast had black women across social media in an uproar. In the clip, Perry and Hazlett reflected that the message Perry was delivering at the time was about having people meet you at your worth, which Perry clarified wasn't about money. Anybody who can't do that doesn't mean they are not worthy of you, Perry said. That means that they either need to attempt, try, learn, find out enough about you to figure out what that is, and that's not money, he added. Perry went on to say that women, especially black women, are making a lot more money than black men. There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. It was the next part that essentially set the internet on fire. So, if you can find love, if that man works, you know, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift, Perry said, that is okay, he continued. That's not somebody who's beneath you. That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right? And as long as he's securing himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill, as long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You handle the light bill, baby. You can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine. Perry went on to say, the relationship dynamic he was describing is so hard for so many people to take in because they are of the mindset that they need someone who is making 5 times more than them in order to be happy. The people Perry is referring to are black women, And that is affirmed when he follows it up by saying, go on and keep your list, baby. God bless you. And I hope it happens for you. But go on and keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. Oprah and Stedman don't count, Tyler. I guess I can see what point Tyler was trying, albeit unsuccessfully, to make, but I can also see how his words were triggering to black women everywhere. They were triggering for me. Let's first note that when Tyler says black women are out earning black men, he is incorrect. Black women earn 93 cents for every dollar black men earn. All of that aside, black women took his message to be yet another instance of him saying black women need to settle for struggle love if they want to be happy. It is a recurrent criticism of the way Perry presents black womanhood in his movies and television shows. Give me a Tyler Perry movie and I will give you a black woman who thought she had it all while she was married to the handsome, rich, successful, and abusive black man, but she learned how much better it could be when she lowered her standards and got with the released convicted criminal who didn't have any money, but he loved her purely and intently. I could link to several movies as an example, but honestly, you've seen his movies, and this is a point on which I think we can all agree. Take for instance my appearance on the Griot News with Ebony K. Williams, two grown women who makes their own money saying that they would not split bills with a man, led to both of us having our social media comments flooding with negative thoughts about us, our opinions, and our life decisions. And the prevailing notion was that we would be forever alone if we didn't lower our standards. To be clear, I am not looking for love or a relationship. I'm in a space in life where my energy and bandwidth are extremely limited, and there are certain things I am not going to put up with ever. If I invite anyone into my space, and this includes my women friends as well, we need to be aligned on certain things. This means that a man trying to come into my life is certainly going to have to check a few boxes, and I'm not willing to compromise on that. Quite frankly, why should I? Why should any black woman? Black women deserve love. We deserve to be cared for and nurtured in the same way we care for and nurture others. We deserve to be loved at our worth, and yes, that does include money. If I'm in a relationship where I'm paying for everything, no amount of good sex is going to make that man any less than a dependent for me. If it ain't worth it, Miss Seeley, again, I get what Tyler was trying to say, but the way his message comes across had the opposite effect. And honestly, I'm glad that so many black women got to openly express how they feel about settling and the entire concept of struggle love. Leave it in the Madea movies and get out of our faces with that. You have only cosplayed this experience, Tyler. You can't speak from a position of knowing. So I get what she's trying to say, and I also get what Tyler is trying to say, but she is right. Tyler needs to hush. One thing that I am really tired of is people that are not even in successful relationships trying to tell other people how to be in relationships and what they need to do and don't need to do. Like, is Tyler Perry even married? Is he even in a long-term relationship? The last time I checked, his baby mama left. And he is supposed to be a high-value billionaire man. So, yeah, we can start with that. I feel like in this day and age, the melanin-rich women do need to up their standards. I think a lot of melanin-rich women have lowered their standards to a degree that it may not even be any standards. They're just settling for whatever. And I just feel like, I don't know where all of this new these new rules and new expectations are coming from, when back in the day, there was a point in time where women could not work. They weren't expected to bring things to the table and all of this. They relied solely on their man. And in certain cultures, women are raised, or girls are raised to pursue high value men. It's just the way that it is. But over here in this culture, it's like you're being a gold digger and all of that. But the reality is, if that's the case, then we've been gold diggers since the beginning of time, because we rely solely on the man. Now, this day and age, the men are trying to rely on the females. And it's like going backwards. It's like we're not evolving, we're just moving backwards. It doesn't make any sense. So I feel like men need to stop being lazy, especially when it comes down to melanin rich women. And then when it comes to any other ethnicity of a woman, you want to step up and do all that you can do to please and satisfy that other ethnicity. But when it comes down to your own, it's like, no, you gotta lower your standards. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to be a man. I don't want to provide. I don't want to be respectful to you and honor you and be loyal to you and provide for you. Like, it's too much. But any other ethnicity is not a problem. So it's like, what are y'all saying? Like, men are so confusing. They are so contradictory. It's like, be quiet and just do what you've always done and what you were put here to do. Provide, protect. That's it. And that's all. And hush. So I don't know what Tyler Perry is on, and his movies are an illusion. Because you can ask women that have been in those situations where they were the sole provider and carrying the man in a lot of those situations. And I'm going to give an example of a prime situation. Was another movie, which was Baby Boy. This girl was working every day, trying to take care of the apartment and take care of the baby, providing the vehicle and doing all of this stuff. And all he was doing was rolling around all day in her car and cheating. So that dynamic does not usually work. And a lot of time when a woman is the provider on such a scale, on that level, then she's being disrespected because he feels like he's beneath her. So it's like, what do y'all want? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, a lot of times that is what men use to try to lure women. Like, look at my car, look at this wad of money, I can do this for you, I can change your life, I can do that. That is their pickup lines. And the way that they're trying to lure you in is by their wealth, by what they have and what they can do. And then when you're in a relationship with them, all of that's supposed to go out the window. Like, what is really going on? This is just an era of confusion. And we didn't need any dating advice from Tyler. It wasn't needed. It wasn't necessary, especially with all these podcasts, having these young men that haven't even had their first girlfriend confused and setting all these expectations. You haven't even had your first girlfriend. And the way that your mindset is going, you're probably not going to get one. Because it seems like the way that these men are talking, they're going to end up alone. Because if you feel that way about this race of women, the other ethnicities are going to catch on and be like, if you treat your own that way, then we can just imagine what's going to happen to us. Because these are your very own people. At least for me, that's how I would logically think about it. So I don't know. And it was a few Caucasian women that came forward and were saying, why are they trying to make black women lower their standards and all of this when that's not a requirement in any other ethnicity? And that is absolutely true. So, I don't know. Ladies, keep your standards and your heels high. That's it and that's all. Let me know y'all thoughts. I don't want to go too deep into that. Like I said, me and D-Man have been thinking about doing our own segment on that to break down a few things. But I think a lot of these men need to be quiet. Especially if you don't desire a melanin rich woman, then stop speaking on melanin rich women. Speak on the women that you desire. Uplift them. Talk about them. All of their great qualities and all of that. So that's what I think. And allow the men who actually respect, honor, and appreciate melanin rich women to have podcasts uplifting them. You get what I'm saying? Celebrate what you enjoy. And that's it and that's all. I will not be wasting every day all of these hours talking about a group of women that I don't have any desire to be with. It makes no sense. The same thing for some of these women who have divested. If you're divested, then why are you spending hours every day to talk about and bash melanin rich men that you no longer desire? You're on there thinking about and talking about these men for hours and hours on end. If that's not what you desire and you have a hatred for them, then change your podcast, change your topics to uplifting the men that you do like, instead of bashing a race of men. Because sometimes when we come across on these platforms to say our opinions and stuff like that, and we have such a large following, it makes it seem like more women are, what's the word that I'm looking for? It seems like more women are carrying those same ideologies. So black men start to believe that this is how black women feel about them, when that's not the case. This particular black woman feels this way about you. And she's supposedly divested, but she's spending her days and hours on end to down you and to bash you, instead of talking about the positive things about being in this divested relationship and how great and wonderful this person is. So it doesn't make sense to me. But if you don't like something, why are you wasting hours and hours and hours talking about it every day? So yeah, guys, let me know y'all thoughts on this whole situation. And yeah, speaking of melanin rich men, the next topic is about Kirk Franklin, and he has found his birth father. And it says Kirk Franklin has found his birth father. Kirk Franklin reveals he's finally found his birth father at 53, and they only live minutes apart. And this is an exclusive from people.com. The Grammy-winning gospel star's new documentary chronicles how, while working on his new album, he located his real biological dad after decades of searching. When Kirk Franklin began working on a new album earlier this year, the Grammy-winning musician had no idea what was in store. This is the first time I've had a behind-the-scenes videographer capturing content for the making of a project. Franklin 53 says of working on his 13th album. I recorded the first song in March, then in April. Everything shifted and became something I could have never planned for. What the cameras ended up capturing was an intense emotional journey. The star went on after suddenly learning who his real biological father was. He also saw it as an opportunity to reconnect with his estranged eldest son, Carry-On 35, whom he hadn't seen in a decade. Franklin has compiled the footage from these events into a short documentary streaming September the 15th on his YouTube channel ahead of the October 6th release of his new album. Both projects are aptly titled Father's Day. Now Franklin is sharing with people what all is taken to get to this point, along with an exclusive clip of the moments his doctor delivered the news of his biological father's paternity. "My life before I had a career was horrific," says Franklin, long before he became the guiding voice of gospel music. Orchestrating decades of hits like Revolution and Wanna Be Happy, Franklin experienced a tough childhood growing up in Fort Worth, Texas, where he was adopted at age 4 by a woman at his church. According to Franklin, his birth mother, then a young teen, was unable to care for him. Though he knew who she was, they rarely connected during his youth, and he often felt abandoned. "I lived being bullied as a kid. I had a learning disorder. I failed out of high school. I got a young lady pregnant when I was 17, and the church crucified me for it," he says, recalling his early hardships. "It's like I never had anybody take up for me or who had my back. As for the woman who adopted him, she was 64. She was a widow and did the best she could when I was young. She got on government aid and would find money to pay for my piano lessons," he said. "But by 12 or 13, I felt abandoned by her because I could tell I became more of an irritant. I wanted to date and go out, and I always felt like I was inconveniencing her. It just added to the feeling of displacement." When Franklin was 6, he was introduced to a man his biological mother said was his biological father. "I didn't see him again until I was 13, and then he started showing up at concerts after my first album came out," he says. "I was angry at the fact that I did not have a father, and he would dare show up once my life seemed to have sense of order. Same for my biological mother," Franklin says. "She too began to turn up more as his career took off. It was very traumatic for me." The man Franklin long thought was his biological father died in recent years. But while recording his new album, a singer he had hired from his hometown told him that she met a man at a funeral who said he once dated Franklin's mom. The man's name, Rich Hubbard, and he's lived in the same neighborhood Franklin grew up in all of his life. As rumors swirl that he might in fact be the star's father, Hubbard submitted a DNA test. The results were a 99.9% match for paternity. "To live over half a century with somebody who lived in the same city as you," says Franklin, who is still grappling with the news. "I suffered so much as a young man without guidance. I struggled with love, intimacy, faith, identity, and to know that the answer was less than 10 minutes away." The documentary captures an emotional first meeting between the star and Hubbard, who was 14 or 15 when Franklin was born, and says he never knew he'd fathered a child at that time. "He is a great guy," Franklin says. Hubbard, who also has a daughter, she's been honest about how hard this is for her as well, learning not only does she have a brother, but that brother is Kirk Franklin. Despite finally knowing the truth, Franklin says things aren't perfect. As shown in the documentary, his biological mother refuses to accept the DNA results even after a second test was completed. "She's just very adamant that this man is not my father," he says. "I have not heard or talked to her since the second test result. Someone he has reconnected with is his own son, is his own son, Carrion. The two have had tension for years and experienced a very public falling out when Carrion released audio of a heated conversation with his dad in 2021. Prior to the meeting shown in the documentary, it'd been 2 years since they'd spoken. My son is a beautiful soul. There are parts of his life that are his to share. I am just very proud that I am seeing him in his own way," says Franklin, stopping short of detailing what all plagues their relationship. He is beginning to reveal and testify to his struggles, his own battles with certain things that have at times cost him. "I know many young black men struggle with these same things. And as he continues to get help and healing, he's going to help so many. He has me and now his grandfather that will be there to help in any way we can. After all that's transpired this year, Franklin, who's also father to daughters Carrington, Kennedy, and son Keziah with his wife Tammy, has been reflecting on his own experience as a dad. I have fathered out of fear the majority of my parenting life, he says, because of what I experienced. I was like, I'll be damned if I let my kids feel that type of pain. So a lot of times I overparented and overperformed, bought too many bicycles, ran off too many boyfriends, just wanted to protect. I had to learn, he adds. My children have been sent the best part of my life. My children have been the best part of my life. He's folded all of these experiences into his inspirational new gospel album. The title, Father's Day, has triple meaning, he explains. The long line is, it's what I miss, where I am, and what has always been. And after all he's been through. Even when I want to curse the sky, he says, I'm still built to believe. Franklin's new documentary, Father's Day, streams on YouTube starting Friday. In this particular scenario, as far as Kirk Franklin is concerned, I just feel like because his mother was so young, via the father saying that he was about 14 or 15 when he was with Kirk Franklin's mother. I feel like Kirk needs to give his mother some grace because she was really, really young. I don't know what she had going on at that time. She may be embarrassed, for one, expressing these things to her son, because for some reason she's in denial, even though he's had 2 actual DNA tests done to prove that this man is his father, whereas the mother has told him for years that some other man was his father. But like I said, being young, I don't know what she was going through. I don't know what she was doing. She might have been, a little bit wild or whatever like that, and she probably ultimately didn't really know who the actual father was. However, I'm glad that this man remembered that he had actually been dating her, and apparently they were intimate, and he knew that he could possibly be the father. Now, why did he wait so long to submit this DNA and all of that? I don't know. But as of this day and age, men tend to be so afraid of child support and being responsible for someone they created that they try to get around doing these type of things to confirm who the child actually belongs to. So I feel like men should stop being cowards. And women, although women can go into their I can do what I want era, especially after trauma, especially after tumultuous relationships, they can get into a space where I'm sexually liberated. I can do what I want, when I want, with whomever I want. But when it comes down to having a child, anyone that you've been involved with may need to get a DNA test, especially if it was unprotected, just so that child can have that knowledge of who they really are, who they actually came from, and who they actually belong to. And it's not solely the mother's responsibility to get DNA tests done. Like I said, the fathers can step up as well. If you think that you're the father, if you could potentially be the father, if you slept with this woman, that in itself lets you know that you could be a candidate. So I don't know why men go into this state of denial and all of that, but like I said, it's like child support scares them to death when it's not really that bad. And I don't know why it scares you to death when the child has to be taken care of regardless. So why wouldn't you want to take care of your seed? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why some men are wired like that. You have majority of men, if they create a child, they will step up and take care of. But you have that small percentage that runs away from responsibility for whatever reason. So I just feel like either parties need to step up so that that child can know who they are, know where they came from, like I said before, so they can have a sense of identity. And sometimes it's good to know the history of your family as far as medical issues, as far as your talents and abilities. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's deep. So I don't know why people, or men in particular, and even in this case, his mother in particular, why do you not want your child to know where they came from? So all I can say is once you know, or once you have an indicator that this child may belong to someone else, you need to work toward finding out who they actually belong to. Do what you have to do, because it could be detrimental in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And although Kirk is a successful person now, like he said, he was traumatized in his childhood, felt abandoned and all of this. So, and it's from both sides. Although that's typical with many people from around the world, for whatever reasons, the parents neglect them or leave them or abandon them or whatever like that. But he ended up being successful, and then now they want to come back around. So at this point, he can choose to abandon. He can choose to deny you because of what you made him go through. You know what I'm saying? And also that can bleed over into the children that he have. But in his case, other than Carrion, he's been overprotective and made sure that he's involved in his children's lives. So I don't know. It just creates a domino effect, especially to blatantly disown and deny and abandon your children. So I don't know. I just feel like we as a people need to really think about who we are having children with. People that you lay down with, you need to have in the back of your mind that this person is worthy of creating or potentially creating a child with. You feel like they have morals, values, you know what I'm saying, that they can instill in this person. They are responsible. We need to start thinking about all of these things before we lay down with people. Like, a lot of people say we need to evolve. In some instances, I feel like we need to devolve. Like back in the gap, you didn't have all of these pregnancies out of wedlock. If they were, then you would have shotgun weddings. Like, if you impregnate my daughter, you gonna marry my daughter, and y'all stuck together forever. So it's like, yeah. And as for men, it's like the women that you laying down with, these are women that can potentially be your baby mamas. So are these women the type of women that you would want to nurture and mother your children? You get what I'm saying? Are they gonna, instill morals, values? Are they gonna be able to teach them different things? Are these women intelligent? Are they good with children? Are they responsible? I mean, some of these things need to be taken into consideration before laying down, giving your body, soul, and potentially creating a life with. So in some of these instances, women are actually giving their womb to these men for them to then turn around and deny you and the child. So that is a lot. That is traumatic in itself. So that's what I think. But I do think he needs to give his mama grace. I don't know what she was going through, why she was out there in them streets wilding out the way that she was at a very young age. She could have been going through some things herself. Who knows? But it is what it is. She probably did not know this man was his dad. She could have been that might have been a sneaky link when she was really going with the other one. I don't know. But I think she needs to be honest and explain, to the best of her ability what actually happened to her son, so he can get some kind of understanding. But if she doesn't remember or doesn't recall, if she's what do you say? What's the word? Compartmentalized different events that happen, especially traumatic events, she probably doesn't remember. Because if it was a traumatic situation or a traumatic time period, that may be the reason. So, I don't know, but he has his answers. You can either keep going backwards or move forward with that information. And, there's no need to hold grudges. I mean, whatever was going on with these people back in their time period really doesn't have anything to do with you, other than the fact that they really probably at that time couldn't take care of you. And it just is what it is. And although he feels like the life that he lived was so traumatic and he felt so abandoned, being with his biological parents may have been a worse situation because they were so young. And it seems like I said, it seems like his mother was already going through a lot. Like, she was out in the old streets wilding out. So what would that have looked like with a baby in tow? What kind of situations would he have been in as a toddler? So he just have to think about what it is, how far he's come, love on his own children, be to them what he would have wanted from his own biological parents, and just move forward. Now either you can sit here and wallow in the past, or you can move forward with a beautiful future with these people included, if he chooses. So it just is what it is. But I feel like men should stop trying to rely on women to do every single thing when it comes down to the offspring. Like, at the end of the day, this offspring would not exist without your participation. Point blank, period. So you are very much as responsible as the mother. End of discussion. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments below. Moving on to the next topic, and it is a very sad one. For some, I mean, it's a sad situation all the way around, but this next topic is about Irish Grinstead, member of R&B girl group 702, dies at 43. I got this information from NBCnews.com, and it says Grinstead's sister and fellow 702 group member Lamisha Grinstead announced the news of her death on Instagram. She has had a long battle and she is finally at peace, she said. Irish Grinstead, a singer in the R&B group 702, best known for the 1999 hit Where My Girls At, died on Saturday. She was 43. Grinstead's sister and fellow 702 group member Lamisha Grinstead announced the news of her death on Instagram. It is with great sadness that I have to let you have that. It is with great sadness that I have to let you have that my beautiful sister and friend has passed away this evening, she wrote. She has had a long battle, and she was not only beautiful on the outside, but also within. Sharing the stage with her was a joy I would cherish for the rest of my life. We, the family, ask for prayers and respect for our privacy as we grieve an outstanding loss to our family. While a cause of death was not provided, the R&B group announced in December that Irish was taking a medical leave of absence due to serious medical issues. Grinstead was born on June 2nd, 1980. Her identical twin sister Orish died from a kidney failure in 2008 at age 27. 702, consisting of the Grinstead sisters and Camila Williams, was named after the area code of their hometown, Las Vegas. After releasing their final album, Star, in 2003, the group disbanded in 2006 and took an 11-year hiatus. In 2021, the Grinstead sisters appeared on BET Presents The Encore. a 10-episode reality series that follows 9 former R&B girl group members in their attempts to create an album in 30 days by forming a supergroup. 702 was nominated for an American Music Award, a BET Award, and several Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards, winning Best R&B Soul Album of the Year by a group, band, or duo for No Doubt in 1997. Williams paid tribute to Grinstead in an Instagram post, writing, "Devastated and heartbroken. I struggle with this post because to me this isn't real. There's a lot I want to say, but there's no way to say what your heart hasn't fully accepted. It's hard to acknowledge this is even happening. I know you're feeling better now and hugging your twin Orish, which makes me smile because I know how much you missed her. You and I have known each other since we were kids, and we've laughed, cried, celebrated, and everything in between, which is why I just don't want to believe this." Wow, we do send our condolences out to their family, group members, friends, and loved ones in this actual time. I didn't even know anything was going on with her, but you never know what people may be going through. So love on your people while they are here, as much as you can, as hard as you can. So let me know your thoughts on that as well. But although they said, they don't have any details about what was really going on with her, but I'm wondering, with her having a twin, did they share similar medical issues or whatever? I'm just curious. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts below on that. That was a group that I did listen to back in the day. I really liked their music. I didn't know for a long time that 2 of the girls were sisters, and I know when they came out, even before removing a couple of members, that the twin Orish was a part of the group as well. It was like the 3 sisters and then a cousin, and then the Williams girl came in later on when they actually got really, really popular. But I remember them doing that song with Subway, and both the twins were in it, the cousin and the older sister. So yeah, I thought they were pretty good singers. They could dance, but I had no idea that they were relatives at that time. So yeah, they made a few hits back in the day, and I really didn't know why the group didn't stay together. It seemed like it would be easier being that you're family, but I don't know why they didn't remain, or sustain being a group, but usually, that does happen, that the girl groups don't normally stay together for some odd reason. But anyway, moving right along, since we're on the topic of transitioning, this topic is about Shanquella Robinson, and it says, family of Shanquella Robinson's fires off cease and desist letter over her misrepresentation in Tubi series, and this is from Revolt.tv. A painful wound has been reopened for the family of Shanquella Robinson after learning that a Tubi series used aspects of the real-life tragedy as a plot in a recent episode of one of the network shows. As a result, the crime drama Street Legal has been served a cease and desist letter alleging the deceased young woman's likeness was used without the approval of her family or overseers of her estate. We must express our profound dismay at the distressing misrepresentation and unauthorized use of Shanquella's identity and the events surrounding her tragic passing, reads the letter sent on behalf of Shanquella's loved ones from attorney Sue Ann Robertson. As widely reported by Revolt, the 25-year-old died within a day of arriving in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in October 2022 to celebrate her birthday with a group of purported friends. Soon after her passing, a video surfaced online showing the woman naked and seemingly disoriented as she was pummeled with punches by a woman in the group. The disturbing footage contradicted stories about Shanquella's death that were shared by friends with her parents, Bernard and Salamandra Robinson. Season 2, Episode 2 of Street Legal, titled Frenemies, reads: within 24 hours, a group of friends traveling to Cabo, Mexico for a birthday celebration turns into a crime scene, and everyone has a different story. Are they friends or enemies? The cease and desist letter states the covertly exploited depiction of Shanquilla is an infringement upon the family's and her estate legal rights to publicity. It continues, this unauthorized use has caused significant emotional distress and harm to the Robinson family, as it has dredged up painful memories and portrayed our loved one in a manner that is inaccurate, disrespectful, and damaging to her reputation. Demands for remedial steps to rectify the issue includes that the episode be removed from Tubi and additional platforms, and that distribution of related materials referencing Shanquilla's likeness be halted. Other actions outlined require a public apology be issued, and that the Robinson family be compensated for their emotional anguish and the damage the defamatory depiction has caused to the young woman's legacy. At the time of this report, Street Legal actor and producer Dennis L. Reed II had not issued a public comment on the matter. However, as of Saturday, September the 16th, multiple posts resharing the letter can be viewed in his Instagram story. Now, I heard that there was a documentary on Tubi about Shanquilla, and I'm wondering if this is what they were talking about or not. But this is on a show called Street Legal. So I don't really know, but I think he should have reached out and got, permission from the family. But I don't know if they will be able to stop him from doing that, because there's so many people that have created their own little mini-series, docu-series via YouTube about the whole ordeal. So I don't know if they'll be able to stop this. And this was like public knowledge. And a lot of times with these law and order type shows, they do, get ideas from actual crimes. So, I don't know if they'll be able to do anything about that. But I think if he had just reached out to the family beforehand, I think it would have been all good, maybe. Especially if they could have had a say-so in how she was depicted. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm not really for sure, but that's all I can say. But I hope that this newfound attention does get the case reopened and reinvestigated. But yeah. So let me know y'all thoughts below on that particular topic, and then we're gonna go into our last topic of today. All right, guys, for the last topic, and this is going to be about Sukihana, and it says Sukihana claps back at critics over 2023 MTV VMAs behavior, and this is from wrapup.com. It says Sukihana appeared on the 2023 MTV VMAs red carpet on Tuesday, September the 12th. Her presence subsequently sparked a wave of online discourse due to her provocative poses. The New Jersey event saw the musician lay sprawled on the floor with her rear facing the cameras. Criticism swiftly surfaced on the internet, with several detractors accusing the Love and Hip Hop Miami star of portraying black women negatively. I just had a daughter. I'm sorry. I look at things much differently now, and I would hate to see her acting like this, one person wrote in the comments of the Neighborhood Talk. Another added, as a grown man with values, businesses, and a strong knowledge of what's important, this type of behavior or woman doesn't even attract me. Bring back class, respect, and dignity. The eating artist confronted the backlash head on by addressing her critics earlier this week. As discussions ramped up on Twitter, one user insisted, "Let's cancel Suki. She really makes black bees look horrible." It prompted a reply from the Miami-based rapper. On Wednesday, September 13th, she snapped back. "Y'all been looked horrible. Stop blaming me." Sukihana championed her stance by recalling past Video Music Award moments. She reposted a picture from 2005 where Playboy model Anna Nicole Smith presented an award topless with MTV logos painted over matching colored pasties. "This the VMAs," she wrote. "Can y'all show all the times people look horrible before me in this thread?" Despite her arguments, a large portion of social media continued to disapprove of the musician's behavior. Unfazed, the artist retorted with humor. She shares memes that integrated her VMAs pose into iconic scenes like The Lion King and The Last Supper. "You're right. Here's the time and place," Suki responded. The controversy mirrored past incidents involving Sukihana, who faced criticism for her antics during a July trip to London. In a clip that went viral, she said, "I'm trying to get my coochie stretched and eat a nigga A. We'll be eating niggas A's today." Wow, wow, wow. I don't really know what to say in response to that. It's like, girl, to compare yourself to Anna Nicole, it's like, first of all, y'all are two different sides of the coin. And just because they're doing it don't mean that we need to. It's like, when we're afforded the opportunity to attend certain type of red carpet events, as a people, we should be honored to be there regardless of what kind of city girl or Miami girl or gutter girl that we actually are. When we go to these type of events, it's an honor. So respect the actual ceremony, respect yourself, represent us well, because you may be paving the way for others, and you also may be blocking the way for others based on your behavior. So choose wisely, sis. Like, pull yourself together. It's like, I don't know. I mean, we just have to be more, I would say, picky about who we choose to go viral or who we choose to be our representation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be a little bit more picky. And I'm not gonna say that I, wasn't rooting for Suki when I first saw her on Hip Hop Miami, Love and Hip Hop Miami. I only saw clips, and I thought she was pretty cool. And I also liked the fact that she was, willing to clap back at Cupcake and all of that with her rapping skills. But some of the things that she's done over the years is like, girl. So I don't know. It's like, if you want to be considered like a porn star and be in the porn star world, in the porn star industry, then go to that side and go to those events. You know what I'm saying? They have their own award shows and all of that if you want to be a part of that world. But don't try to overlap the two, because it's two different worlds. This was for music. So yeah, I think she needs like some type of coaching, somebody in her corner to kind of like guide her in the way that she needs to go. And I think she's a little too old for some of the behavior that she's displaying. Like, Cardi B be wilding out, but you have never seen her do anything like that. It's just, to me, it's just disrespectful. And it doesn't move us as a people. So it doesn't elevate us. It doesn't make us feel proud. It's like, girl. Anyway. But we all know people do a lot for clout, to get the people talking, to get attention on them for whatever reason. And this day and age, clout is a hell of a drug. So I don't know why she's behaving the way that she is, but it's distasteful is all I can say. Let me know your thoughts, and yeah, in the comment section below. And I'm about to get ready to get out of here. So with that being said, we have come to the end of this chat session. I hope that you have been inspired, informed, or entertained. Be sure to check us out on our other platforms that are listed on our About page. Make sure you click the notification bell to be notified of our future chat sessions. Thank you so much for your time and support. I look forward to our next one. Peace and love. And as always, be blissful. Peace.
DJ Mike C on the track.
Cause that be natural.
Lady
I ain't
D.
looking tacky. I keep my game tactful.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm so nappy.
M.O.B.
Cause that be natural.
The infamous.
I ain't looking tacky. Cause I keep my game tactful.
I'm so pretty, I'm so fabu, I'm so natural, it's like it's a taboo. I'm so filthy, got the tattoo, fucking these bitches like I own ragu. On my business with my platoon, getting these minutes like I'm a typhoon. Y'all is cheering on that cartoon, and I'm sitting on top of these buffoons. I'm so nappy, I'm so nappy. All these dudes that wanna get at me, I'm so cultured and I'm happy. Jealous switches wanna combat me, cause I'm comfortable in my skin. End of the day, you lose, I win. I'm so comfortable in my ends, don't care if I make or lose a few friends, and I look like $1 trillion. Lady, he won a lotto, cause in the Lord I trust, and beauty is the motto. Naturally thick in the butt, I'm Billy Blanks on the Tabo. Edges a little rough, just pretend I'm from Morocco. Organ all up in my hair, cause I let my locks grow naturally. My curls popping everywhere, I'm maximizing on this natural thing. Like it or not, I don't care. You clowns ain't about to worry me, cause I does this for myself, and I'm repping for my ancestry.